Hello, hello, hello. Top of the morning, evening, afternoon, and good night to one and all. It is a Wednesday, March 15th at 10:30. How is everybody doing? This is going to be interesting. So apparently there has been uh, a speech that I must have missed yesterday. I do apologize. I wasn't around much. I basically had to set up my business over in Palm Coast. So that is kind of consumed the majority of my day yesterday. But that doesn't mean that I can't go back and look at the latest news because, well, I got about 19 messages about this. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the donors out of chat. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Monkey. Thank you, Jorn. Let's talk about it. So before we jump into this, basically Trump went to Congress and did a full speech. I think this is his first public speech after being president. Obviously, he does a lot in the Oval Office with Elon Musk and well. I'm interested in this because I got about 3 emails and I had a Hazel that had asked me to do this. So I'm going to do this. But before we do that, what I want to pull up is this little sweet number. Where are we? Hold on. Thank you over there, Mike T. Thank you so much, brother. Where are we? We are here. Yeah, let's start here. So this is a video, MSNBC. I get it. Trump doesn't like MSNBC. I just want to hear what they have to say. That new polling shows majority of Americans are not happy with Trump's presidency. Now, if this came from anywhere else, I would almost let me hear you out. I'm still going to hear them out. It's just that MSNBC and Trump, for whatever reason, it used to be Trump hated CNN. But now it's MSNBC. So let's see what they have to say, shall we? Let's get it.
Well, the thought of Donald Trump walking into the House chamber again may make you want to crawl into the fetal position, which I totally understand. That speech is actually where I want to start. And here's why. Because tomorrow night, he's going to give you his version of events. And I want to give you mine. Now, I could sit here and tell you all about the inner workings of how a big speech like this typically comes together in a White House, how the writing process typically works, how the preparation typically.
How do you know that? Just out of curiosity, aside from you just being a lady on the news, how do you know that? Is this the chick that used to speak for Biden? Is this her? Because it looks like her. No? Okay.
Typically works, how the strategy typically works, what a president is thinking about in the days ahead, all of the things. I could talk about all of that. But the thing is, in this moment, that would all be pretty useless. Because this is not a normal speech. It's not a normal presidency. It's not a normal reality we are all living in, to state the obvious. And I think it's important to remember all of that heading into tomorrow night. Because Trump is going to have a big platform. And he's definitely going to try his hardest to convince you that his plan and his last 6 weeks in office have helped you somehow. Now, I mean, just this morning, Trump previewed his speech by saying, quote, "Tomorrow night will be big. I will tell it like it is." But let me translate that for you real quick. When Trump says he'll tell it like it is, what he really means is that he's going to tell you what his own warped version of what he wants you to believe.
Isn't that the idea of it? Okay.
I mean, I obviously don't know what's in the speech. I can't entirely predict all the things he's going to talk about at all. But I think it's pretty safe to say.
Yeah, I think this is the chick. It looks like the chick that spoke for Biden, the circle back chick. I feel like that's her. It looks like her. But still, I guess she would know what goes on the inside, but you've with Trump, so you don't know what goes normally on inside. You knew what happened with Joe Biden, who sat around and did absolutely nothing, right? I don't think anybody could disagree that Biden was he was probably the most talkative president, just not on camera and not coherent. So you don't know what goes on with Trump. You know the general round-the-mill what happens with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's what you know. I really think that that's the chick. I really do.
That he's going to lie. He's going to exaggerate. He's going to sugarcoat. He's going to say a lot of things that aren't true. As you're watching that and resisting the urge to
Well, that's rich because Joe Biden got up there and, oh, you said a lot of things that were true. Because, yes.
throw something at the TV, if you do, just make sure it's a soft thing. Just remember that you know what's true. No matter what he says tomorrow, you know what he's already done. You know what you've been seeing with your own eyes. You know how you and your family and your neighbors have been feeling. I mean, you probably felt a little less safe booking that next flight after a series of recent crashes and air disasters, as Trump and Musk continued their quest to gut the FAA. I bet you've heard about the measles outbreak in Texas.
What do those things have to do with him running the government? What? Measles? Really? FAA? Really? Because 95% of Americans do not give a shit what's happening with the FAA. Measles? Maybe. But just because something happens while someone is a president, what about the riots with Joe Biden? I can go all day with this. So let's not do that. Let's focus fire on the actual speech and MSNBC's polling data showing that Trump is absolutely not doing good at all. Show me that.
Killing a child that might be the same age as your kid or your grandkid, as Trump and Musk got the Department of Health and Human Services. You might have seen the news today that for the first time in history, your Social Security checks might not come on time. You've probably gone to the grocery store over the past few weeks and seen that the prices have not actually gone down, but up. And
there is some truth in that. But I've said this, that the Trump thing is not going to lower the prices of the groceries. Eggs are at like an all-time high right now. I mean, well, all-time high would have been, what was that, the gold rush, where they were $132 an egg in like today's money? That's crazy. Ain't nobody having sunny side up for breakfast, I can tell you that much. That's like rich people meal. It's $500 you're going to be hungry in an hour.
You know that when Trump imposes his tariffs on Canada and Mexico in a few hours, costs will go up even more. If you have money in the stock market, you probably noticed that the markets tanked today after Trump confirmed those tariffs are coming. And I know you saw what happened in the Oval Office on Friday, when Trump berated an ally under attack and sided with a murderous dictator. Point is this, you see what's happening, you know what's happening. And if you spent the last few weeks worrying about what all of this means for you and what this means for the country and your community, you're not alone. I mean, you're in the majority, actually. Brand new polling shows that a majority of Americans say the State of the Union.
So who's providing this polling? NPR, PBS News, ain't nobody watching Public Broadcast Network. Marist, I don't know what that is, February 24th through February 26th. So that was last week. Give me something that is from, this was filmed on the 4th. Give me something from the 1st to the 4th, right? Don't give me something from the 24th to the 26th. And Mo 551, I feel like that is a part of the, like that's part of a Bible. It's not the King James version. Like, I don't know who Mo 5.1 is, but I know about the first two. I don't know Mo. Maybe Mo is the person that is showing that 53%. Okay, 53%.
Is not very strong. A majority of Americans say the cuts to the federal government are doing more harm than good. A majority of Americans say Trump has not paid enough attention to the country's most important problems. And the only president who had a lower
Biden's approval rate at start. Oh, that's nice how they did that at start of presidency there. I like what you did there. That's nice. How you're only focusing on the very beginning. That's good. That's I'll give you that, because you could win that argument. Like you did good there. I'm colorblind, so that was a little bit difficult for me to pick that up at first. I see what you did. That's nice. Okay. All right. You get that argument. Fine. Okay, now show me at the end, right? Because Biden wasn't 57% at the end. I think Biden was like at 22. So, okay. And what else you got? You got George Bush, absolutely. Clinton, absolutely fantastic. Biden at 57. Yeah, the reason why Biden was at 57 but when Trump was at his ass end is because of the shit that he did on Twitter. We all know that. There's no secret there.
Approval rating than Donald Trump at this point in their presidency is Donald Trump. Again, you see what's happening. You know what's happening. And you are in the majority. We see that very clearly in the data. And we're also seeing it in communities and town halls all across the country. I mean, look at the greeting Vice President J.D. Vance got in Vermont over the weekend, when citizens crowded the streets carrying signs.
The reason why is because you got Bernie Sanders up there that's still, I don't even know what his role is, a senator or Congress. I don't know what, he's either a senator or congressman, but that guy just doesn't die. He is old. Remember when he was wearing the mittens, the Mickey Mouse gloves? That's why everybody up there is pissed off, because of Bernie. Right? You didn't have Bernie up there, you wouldn't have that problem. Okay.
It's like democracy, not fascism. And my personal favorite, go ski in Russia, JD. And listen to this chorus of boos at Congressman Keith Self's town hall in Texas over the weekend.
In those programs
I mean, that's pretty loud from the people of Texas.
Yeah, how many people were in there? 12? How low was that camera to the ground with all the people? Show us, pan out. Show us all those people. So what is it, 50 people? What about the rest of Texas?
And watch this moment from a town hall in Kansas where constituents pressed Senator Roger Marshall so forcefully that he literally just got up and walked out.
We don't have time for everyone to stand up. I do got 2 more commitments today. Appreciate everybody making the drive out, and God bless America. Thank you. Oh, wait.
They seem a little displeased there.
Biden's done that. Biden has also turned around and asked about ice cream. So I don't know what we're comparing it to. So because he didn't want to take any questions, that's unorthodox? No, lady, come on. You're digging. You're digging.
Kansas. And I want you to take a listen to one more. This is from Congressman Tom Suozzi's town hall over the weekend. And keep in mind as you're watching that, well, yes, he is a Democrat. He represents a very purple district.
Listen, everybody's freaking out. Everybody's like, you know, I'm Mr. Like, let's work together. Let's try and find common ground. And what happened in the White House yesterday, I was so pissed off. It was just I knew you had to get that out of your system.
I mean, he was referencing Donald Trump berating Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, in the Oval Office. And people were clapping because they were pissed off, too. It's pretty loud and clear from the people of Long Island. Now, Trump, of course, came out this morning and said nothing to see here, and that all of...
You got to stop that. You got to stop saying that that's the whole state. You know, I've had people that tell me, oh, my God, my country loves you. We love you. First off, you don't speak for the whole country. You don't own it, right? You don't... That one guy up there with the 75... Okay, let's go crazy. The 200 people. Wow. And all... She said Long Island or Rhode Island? I think she said Long Island, or did she say Rhode Island? If she said Rhode Island, there's only 200 people there, so that is a fair argument. If you said Long Island, that ain't shit. Like, that ain't nothing. That's on a corner crossing the street to go somewhere. Either island, it doesn't matter. You're not speaking for the whole state.
these people and all of these town halls are...
I see why Trump does not like the news. I see it. And I don't like the news. I don't even like doing this. I like doing this because I show you my reaction. I just don't like what they do on the news. You are picking and choosing, right? If you go back to old school news was just that. We're going to give you the news and we're not going to give you an opinion, right? There might be a slight opinion like, oh, I don't like them. I don't like what they're doing, right? You're not going to try to destroy. You could use the argument and say that politicians back then, George Bush, Barack Obama, they didn't really attack each other like they do today. That's because of Trump. However, I digress. So the news has become so one-sided. All of them, Fox, right side, MSNBC, left, CNN, left, right? I don't need to go down the line. But I watch all of them because I watch it so you don't have to. But they've all become essentially opinion pieces, like an article in the back of a magazine, you know, or an article on the 15th page of a newspaper. No one's going to get to that. But because everybody lives on a computer, we all see this shit. And it's someone watching this that already has a shred of a doubt that they don't like Donald Trump. After watching this, it's going to further encourage or further exacerbate how much they don't like him. Because you have this chick, Miss Circle Back. I'm telling you, that's got to be her. It looks just like her. Miss Circle Back telling you all the negative things. Give me somebody. Like, I would love to see that. I don't know how that news channel would be successful. I want to see a centrist view. Like my view as a YouTube channel. That's what I want to say. Honestly, if anybody knows any, please email me, jhayes@icloud.com. A centrist view. Take the side of Trump every now and then, take the side of whoever's on the left, right? That's what I want to say. You are not going to find, I can't find that.
Just paid troublemakers. That's his claim. And of course, there's no evidence that that's true. But that response is an awfully good window into what we will likely hear from him tomorrow night. He's going to tell you not to believe what you're seeing with your own eyes, not to believe what you're feeling in your gut, and to just.
But we're feeling in our gut because of what you're saying, right? We're not feeling in our gut with basically what we see. We only see what the news and the media portrays. So that feeling in our gut is not real. I mean, it's very real. It just doesn't come from a real place. It's someone that does not do enough research will be gullible enough to believe, okay, what the news is saying is accurate, right? Like what you're saying. Yeah, you're picking and choosing shit, like the start of the presidency. What about in the middle? What is the start of the presidency? The first year or the first month? Or is it the first 6 months? I don't know. Be more clear, but you don't do that because it doesn't look in your favor. It doesn't fit your narrative when you do it where it's 6 months out or a year out. You're only showing me what you want to show me, and that I do not like. I'm sorry. Let's continue.
Just take him at his word. I'm here to tell you to do the exact opposite. I'm here to tell you to trust what you've been seeing with your own eyes. Believe what you've been feeling in your gut and know that you are definitely not alone. I can't think of two better people to talk with about all of this. Dan Pfeiffer is a former senior advisor to President Obama and co-host of Pod Save America. Ben Rhodes is the former deputy national security advisor to President Obama. If this was a
great, so they're both Democrats. Cool. So a very one-sided, totally biased. Okay.
normal State of the Union, we could just get super nerdy about all the preparations, but it's not. So we're not going to do that. So, Dan, let me start with you. I just gave my take on how I'm looking at tomorrow night. We're all going to watch it. So if people watching don't want to watch it, we'll tell you all about it. But
of course you will. Of course you will. You're going to tell us all about it and cut out the parts that you like and fit your narrative and just show us that. Got it.
How are you looking at it?
And who's banging on the table over there?
I think one of the big questions about this speech is everyone, people like us, the media, the Democrats in Congress, going to treat it like a normal speech, just a slightly more extreme version of a traditional State of the Union? Mm-hmm. But that's not what this is, right? Where we know what we're going to get is going to be gaslighting. We know that
Oh, God, with the gaslighting and the virtue signaling and stupid words. Whatever happened, I'm just going to say what I want to say because I'm going to say it, and you're going to listen.
we are undergoing one of the most radical and dangerous, potentially unconstitutional changes in how America operates over the last 6 weeks here. And are we going to treat it as such? Or are we just going to get up there and critique what he says, say, maybe this wasn't exactly right, maybe this wasn't wrong, go through the strategy of it, and then come out with our talking points about the price of eggs, right? Or are we going to play a bigger game here and talk about what's really happening? And I think that's the question for all of us as we try to figure out, because we don't really have.
I can tell you what's really happening. Whoever put the pictures on the back of your wall back there needs some help. That is not organized in any type of fashion, right? There's not like black frame next to black frame. It's black, bronze, silver. Throw it up there. We didn't have enough money, so we went over to Walmart and just bought some random frames. Kept the pictures in, and we just went with that. Don't talk about organization, okay? Don't stop. Put a green screen up, like make it a backdrop of a mountain. Like, don't talk to me about organization.
The vocabulary.
I can tell you what's not organized. Your shirt underneath your jacket. That's also not organized. What is that? Are you Mexican? Or do you? I'm sorry. Let's just go.
Or the experience to really deal with what Trump is doing.
Trump looks like shit there. Let's just put it out there. Trump looks absolutely terrible.
With Elon Musk are doing to our country right now.
No question. It's
Look at the spacing, right? Look over here. What is this? What is this? You have this nice, well, that's not nice. This should be centered on this bottom one, should be raised up a little bit and moved over to the right, okay? This one up here, the top one, is crooked. It's leaning down. Don't talk to me about organization. And then these two right here, I don't even know what's happening. The spacing, not good, right? Okay, little thing in the corner. It's not in the corner. It's just, it's like, I have to make sure that this does not face the camera because I don't want people to read Mein Kampf on my top shelf. Over here, the curtains don't match the rest of the room, and I'm colorblind, and I'm telling you that. The pillow makes no sense. It's like a peppermint candy on the couch. Do not talk about organization, right? Talk about he doesn't know how to speak in front of people. That's fine. Wear a tie. Wear something. Button up your shirt.
unprecedented is one way of talking about it, but it's many, many things. Ben, let me ask.
I have a problem with ad hominem. I get picked on so much on the internet. I'm just taking it out and I'm lashing out at people. I apologize. I'll stop it. I have to be more cordial and more presentable.
I mean, one of the things that you always prepare for and you always watch on the outside is sort of what everybody does in the room. And I'm sure we will talk about that tomorrow as we see it. But I think it's important to also level set just how abnormal and horrible.
Yes, Monkey, you're getting what I'm saying. You get it. I love it. There's things that can hold those books up, right? Like they're little metal dividers. Or you could even get another book, right? You could get another book, slam everything to the left, and have that one book leaning against that book in a nice fashion. And boom, now you kind of have, don't talk about organization, please.
Horrible in many ways things are right now. I mean, we just learned tonight that the U.S. is going to pause all military assistance into Ukraine. I think we should expect.
That's big news. We're just going to blow past that like you didn't say that? We're going to pause it. Oh, well, that's nice.
Anything in this moment, of course, but if Trump makes a big deal of that tomorrow night, are you expecting Republicans in the chamber are going to stand up and applaud? I mean, what should we be preparing for to the degree we even know in that regard?
Well, just to build on what you said in your opening, Jen, and what Dan said, he's going to try to present all of these deeply radical
The guy on the left looks like he just got done drinking way too sour of lemonade.
things he's doing on his own terms.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be this instinct to digest them as if they're kind of policy shifts, right? So Ukraine, he will present what he's doing, berating President Zelensky in the Oval Office and cutting all his
You know, his books, he could talk about organization. His books look good.
assistance as a peace plan, and not as what it really is, which is a transformative event in American history where the United States is shifting from the side of our European allies to the side of Vladimir Putin. That's what it is. He will try to present it as something else, as a peace plan, in the same way that he'll try to present, DOGE as just an effort to get rid of waste and fraud and cut some spending from the budget, and not what it actually is, which is an effort led by a tech oligarch to dismantle the U.S. federal government, right? And so across the board, there are going to be these things where he's trying to kind of take advantage of.
I have to mention this. I do. I felt like such an idiot the other day. I was like, what is an oligarch? I felt like that was a character in Magic the Card Gathering. And then I was like, no, duh, dude, that's a boss in World of Warcraft. Like, Molten Core, second boss. Nope, that's not it. I had to look this up because I had no idea what it was. You talking about using these words, and I've never heard they might have said I just never caught it. It's basically a rich person. But in a nutshell, that is what it is. It's a rich person that has power, which all rich people do. So that also includes Mark Zuckerberg, right? He's Facebook, liberal. Jeff Bezos, liberal. Also is that. Okay.
The normalcy of the venue You know, I just am a guy with an agenda to make government work better, to bring peace to Ukraine, to have a big, beautiful economy. Never mind that the tariffs that are going to go into effect tomorrow are going to have huge disruptive effects on vital American sectors like the automotive sector, or like the prices of food. And so I think the Republicans, look, I have no hope for them. They'll stand and applaud. They'll salute Mr. Trump. They'll do whatever they have to do to avoid, some MAGA media coming after them. I think what we have to do is not give in to the normalcy of the event. We are living through a very abnormal thing that is happening, and we're going to be living through it for at least 2 years until the midterm elections. And I think that's how Democrats need to respond. And frankly, everybody who's in the kind of reality-based world, whatever their party affiliation, needs to respond.
I mean, the man can read from a teleprompter if he needs to. I actually don't. The inauguration was so much.
Oh, that's rich. That's rich. Okay.
Crazier than the first inauguration, so that's not what I expect. But if anyone says he became president tomorrow night, I'm going to lay on the ground. So I hope that's not what happens anywhere. Dan, let me ask you just about Democrats, and because that is one thing Ben raised there, and also you referenced. I mean, the vernacular and the how exactly to fight back. It feels like everybody's kind of working out the kinks of what works and what doesn't work. Some Democrats are not showing up. Some are doing alternative events. Some are bringing federal workers who have been fired. What do you think they should do?
I mean, all of the above, honestly.
Okay, great. We're done listening to this, right? You get the idea. So we have two options. We can either listen to this whole thing for an hour and a half, which I regret to inform you cannot do because I have an appointment in an hour. So we can't do that. But what we can do is go over here and go with the top 5 moments, which is 5 minutes long. If anybody, anything that I do not show in this, please send me an email or send me something so I can recap what I missed. These are the top 5 moments. I'm not going to watch an hour and 40 minutes. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
Are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
That's interesting. The left side of the House is standing up. You would think that would be the right side. So we see who the Democrats are and who the Republicans are just based off of that standing ovation. Okay.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
So I don't know what he said. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I feel like you left that out.
And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts we do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time.
You know what I would do? You know what I'd do if I was Trump up there? I would say something that the Democrats almost have to stand up on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. America is a great country. You guys understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody, it's a great country. Can we not all agree? Let's see if they clap at that point. Because that has nothing to do with you, right? That's just America as a whole, or the people of America represent what we are. Something powerful, you know. See if they stand up. If they don't get up, well, did they go in there, have a pre-game meeting? Nobody stand up at all. Don't smile. Look aggressive. Look like somebody just kicked your dog off a bridge, because that's exactly what I just saw.
That is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control.
They're out of control now.
And we're working hard to get it back down, since the tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. And I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight. Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
Well, because Greenland wasn't far enough, right? Greenland and Panama, we could get there, no problem. Mars, you're gonna just go plant a flag. Trump's too much, man. He's too much. Let me do this real quick. Let me go to the full one. I feel like there's something I'm missing.
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started. I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes. Deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets. Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
Why don't they get up? The military? What? They don't need to stand up at all?
And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places, they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim, right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it. Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure, 38,000.
I cannot get a hold of Rubio's ears. Like, oh my God, bro.
1,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job. Great job. And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for...
This is just one thing I do not agree. I just don't. I'm not against it. I'm just not for it either. For us to just go take Greenland.
National security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security, and I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again...
Why not keep Greenland, and just take what you need and just like split it? You know what I mean? Like with North America, Canada, and America. Why not just do the same thing? Just go into Greenland and keep Greenland. Just, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what his plan is when he says did you just want to remove the name Greenland, or is it just territory of... Why not just cut out the part where the people live, the majority of them, and just let them have that, and then the rest is America, right? The parts where I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for Greenland. I just don't like the idea of just going into a country that we're not at war with to just say, hey, you're going to hand this over. I don't know how I feel about that. Well, I do know how I feel about it. I just don't agree with it.
Standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew.
Yeah, because you wanted them to withdraw too. Let's be clear. Trump wanted that.
Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Oh, the right side's clapping.
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown. That when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter, 2,000 people, and now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes. "2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans. But I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine, by far. Think of that. To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his three beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you.
Where's the part with the dude where they told him to leave? When did that happen? Did that happen towards the beginning and I skipped it? Because I didn't see that part. With the sergeant at arms? Trying to figure out where that is because I want to see what led up to that, where they kicked him out. in the very beginning?
And continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms.
More Americans believe that we won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country. And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican. Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Okay, I want to know what he said. Right? That's what I want to say. His name was Mr. Green.
Hi, Congressman. What were you shouting to the president, sir? Sir, what were you shouting to the president?
The president said he had a mandate. And I was making it clear to the president that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care. And I want him to know that his budget calls for deep cuts in Medicaid. He needs to save Medicaid, protect it. We need to raise the cap on Social Security. There's a possibility that it's going to be hurt, and we've got to protect Medicare. These are the safety net programs that people in my congressional district depend on. And this president seems to care less about them and more about the number of people that he can remove from the various programs that have been so helpful to so many people.
So is yelling during a speech the best way to get that across?
It is the best way to get it across to a person who uses his incivility against our civility. He is a person who has consistently been used incivility against civility.
So do you have no mandate? Is that what you said?
Well, look, I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security.
So were you saying you have no mandate? Is that what you told us?
That's what he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. None.
Is the only punishment that you were kicked out, sir? Is there something?
I don't know. Whatever the punishment is, I'm not fighting the punishment. This is about the people who are being punished by virtue of losing their health care. This is the richest country in the world, and we have people who don't have good health care. We've got to do better. And now we're about to cut Medicaid, which is for poor people. Health care has become wealth care for many people, and we can't afford to let that happen.
Is that the only thing that you're protesting?
No, I have other things I'm protesting. And I'm also working on my articles of impeachment. This president is unfit. He should not hold the office. 34 felony convictions, 2 times impeached.
Sir, tell me one more time.
And what is that? And you know what? You know what that means? Nothing. Nothing. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He was voted on. He won across the board. It does not matter that you don't like him. This impeach bullshit, I feel like, is the most ridiculous thing, and you get nowhere with it, right? Okay, we're going to impeach him. Yeah, and then nothing happens. Okay, great.
And what you were shouting in the chamber?
That he has no mandate to cut Medicaid.
That's what you were saying over and
Yes.
over. Thank you, sir.
Yes. No mandate. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
I'm not saying I agree with the man standing up and arguing with Trump there, but if he doesn't get to sit down with Trump, and that's kind of his only option to do that, and that's what he believes in, that is your First Amendment. I don't know if that's the right place to do it, but you're a congressman. You obviously have means to an end to actually get a hold of the man and say what you have to say. I don't know. There's not a lot I got out of that. I'm not going to sit down and watch the whole thing for an hour and 40 minutes, but I have to respect the man for getting up there and saying what he wanted to say. God, it's the first time I've ever seen somebody kick at a dress of the Congress, but whatever. I guess it's the first for everything. All I'm saying is I think it's crazy that going back to the original thing of what we watched, not so much the Congress, that whenever you watch news, man, even if you're on the right side of the aisle and you're a Republican and you watch news, you like what they say, that's great. And then you watch the left, just keep in mind that everything that the left tells you is, in their opinion, to be true and real. That means that everything you hear on the right side of the aisle makes you think that everything on the right side is real. So they both have jaded sides. And I think that's important for the American people to know, that just cut through that bullshit and just try to find somewhere in the middle. And don't watch just the right side. Watch the left side, and then you figure out the truth. It's just like if you were a cop and you're trying to figure out the crime. Are you only going to listen to one side of the story and then that's it? You only want the witness. You don't want nothing else. You don't want any kind of evidence, no proof, no nothing. Well, to me, I don't think that's the right way to do it. I think the right way is to hear both sides of the story and then you come up with a conclusion. Stay beautiful.